Hello everyone, welcome to Ancient Chronicles. Today, I will talk about prehistoric mystique and myths of Egypt. The origins of all nations, barring those that are colonies, are shrouded in a prehistoric time, a period of darkness and obscurity that precedes the dawn of recorded history. This era serves as a playground for myth spirits, entities that either frolic freely or lounge listlessly, depending on their inherent nature. In the case of Egypt, the myth spirits were of a heavier and duller kind, contrasting starkly with the light and frolicsome spirits of Greek and Indo-Iranian lore. It has been posited that Egypt birthed no more than a single myth, the Osirid legend. This assertion holds some truth, given that no other Egyptian story is narrated at considerable length or with a significant number of exciting incidents. However, the remnants of Egyptian culture reveal numerous short legends, each bearing its own degree of interest. These narratives demonstrate that the Egyptians were not entirely devoid of imagination, albeit their creativity was far from lively. One such legend tells of Seb, who once assumed the form of a goose, laid the mundane egg, and hatched it. Another tale speaks of Thoth, who penned a remarkable book brimming with wisdom and scientific knowledge. This book encompassed everything about the fowls of the air, the fishes of the sea, and the four-footed beasts of the earth. A person who knew even a single page of this book could charm the heaven, the earth, the great abyss, the mountains, and the seas. Thoth safeguarded this work by enclosing it within a series of nested boxes: gold, silver, ivory and ebony, bronze, brass, and finally iron, and cast this well-guarded box into the Nile at Coptis. However, a priest discovered the book's location and sold this knowledge to a young noble for 100 pieces of silver. The noble retrieved the book, but its possession brought him misfortune rather than good. He lost his wife and child and became entangled in a disgraceful intrigue. The book's subsequent possessor was no more fortunate, underscoring the perilous quest for unlawful knowledge and the calamity it invariably brings upon those who seek it. The annals of every civilization are steeped in myths and legends, often serving as a prelude to the recorded history that follows. Ancient Egypt is no exception, with its rich tapestry of tales that blur the line between the fantastical and the real. One such myth revolves around Ra, the sun god, who succeeded Thuh as the king of Egypt. Ra's reign was marked by peace and contentment, both for him and his subjects. However, a time came when his subjects grew unruly and offensive, compelling Ra to contemplate the destruction of mankind. The Council of Gods concurred, and the task of annihilation was assigned to Author and Sekhet. In response to this impending doom, the men of Elephantine offered Ra an appeasement in the form of 7,000 jars filled with a mixture of fruit juice and human blood. Ra, placated by the offering, ordered the remaining liquor to be poured out, resulting in an inundation that covered the whole of Egypt. The next day, Author found no men, only water, which she drank and was satisfied, thus sparing mankind. These narratives, while intriguing, offer little in terms of historical accuracy. To uncover the true history of the Nile Valley, one must look beyond these mythical tales to the actual human beings who shaped Egypt's destiny. The Egyptians themselves acknowledged the first man of their records as a king named Muna, or Menes as the Greeks called him. Born in Tenna, this or Thinis, in Upper Egypt, Menes was the first to unite the two Egypts, the long, narrow Nile Valley and the broad Delta Plain, under a single scepter. Upon his ascension, Menes realized the need for a new capital that could effectively govern both regions. The ideal location, he concluded, was the junction of the plain and the vale, where the upper country ends and Egypt expands into a wide plain. This strategic location offered easy access to both regions and was easily defensible. Menes's choice proved to be prescient. Despite occasional shifts of the seat of government to Thebes or Alexandria, the capital invariably returned to the center dictated by geography. The founding of the ancient city of Memphis, according to tradition, was a monumental task that required overcoming significant geographical challenges. The Nile, which flowed along the base of the Libyan hills for many miles before spreading out onto the plain, was on the wrong side of the valley for the city's strategic needs. The river needed to be on the other side to serve as a natural bulwark against potential Asiatic invaders. The city's founder, therefore, undertook a colossal engineering project before construction of the city could begin. He built a large embankment across the river's natural course, forcing it into a new channel that ran down the middle of the valley, slightly towards its eastern side. This alteration provided the necessary defense against invasion and offered an ample site for the new capital between the new river channel and the foot of the western hills. It is indeed remarkable to consider such a feat being accomplished at the dawn of history by a population just emerging as a people. However, in Egypt, precocity is the norm. The pyramids, which cannot be dated long after the supposed reign of Menes, are testament to the same engineering prowess attributed to the founder of Memphis. In ancient times, a city was incomplete without a temple, and the capital city of the most religious people in the world was no exception. Concurrent with the city's foundation was the erection of a grand temple dedicated to Ptah, the Revealer, the divine artificer who created the world and man, and made manifest the hidden thoughts of the Supreme Being. This temple, originally a naos or cell, was situated within a temenos or sacred enclosure, watered from the river and likely adorned with trees. Over centuries, like medieval cathedrals, the temple grew as successive kings added new structures and enriched it with statuary and painting. Herodotus, the ancient Greek historian, saw the temple in its full glory and described it as a vast edifice, very worthy of commemoration. Abdel-Latif, the Arab physician and historian, noted the beauty of its remains during its decline. Today, only a few nondescript fragments and a broken colossus of the great Ramses remain to mark the location of this ancient temple, which the Egyptians themselves regarded as the oldest in their land. The new city was named Men-Nefer, the good abode, by its founder. It was also known as Ptah, the house of Ptah. These names evolved into the Memphis of the Greeks and Romans, the Moth of the Hebrews, the Mempi of the Assyrians, and the name still given to the ruins, Tel Month. Memphis, the ancient capital of Egypt, was indeed a good abode. It was watered by an unfailing stream, navigable from the sea, which brought supplies and provided strong protection. Surrounded on three sides by the richest and most productive alluvium, close to quarries of excellent stone, and within easy reach of the sea, it was favorably placed. Even today, the legacy of Memphis lives on in the modern city of Cairo, which occupies an adjacent site and is composed largely of the same materials. The Egyptians knew their first king, Menes, as the one who turned the course of the Nile, founded Memphis, built the nucleus of the great temple of Ptah, and was devoured by a hippopotamus. This last fact, related by Manetho, is likely a metaphorical way of saying that Menes succumbed to death, as the hippopotamus was sacred to Taort, the goddess of evil, who was herself figured as a hippopotamus. Modern critics question whether Menes was a real Egyptian, a being of flesh and blood, or merely a phantom like Seb, Thoth, Osiris, Set, and Horus. The Egyptians believed in Menes as a man and placed him at the head of their dynastic lists. However, they had no contemporary monument inscribed with his name. The name Menes is found at the beginning of many nations' histories, raising suspicions about its authenticity. It is also similar to the city he founded, suggesting that it might be a personal name made out of a local one. However, the city of Memphis, the embankment, the temple of Ptah, and the founding of a kingdom in Egypt, which included both the upper and the lower country before the time of Abraham, were realities that cannot be doubted. All antiquity attests that the Valley of the Nile was one of the first seats of civilization, with a settled government established there when Abraham visited the country. A consecutive series of monuments carries the date of the first civilization at least as far back as 2700 BC, probably further. If Menes, despite all we are told of his deeds, is a mere shadowy figure, what can we say of his 20 or 30 successors of the first, second, and third dynasties? They are shadows of shadows. The native monuments of the early Ramesside period assign to this time some 25 names of kings, but they do not agree in their order, nor do they altogether agree in the names. This suggests that our understanding of this early period of Egyptian history is still incomplete and shrouded in mystery. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. See you in the next one.